Hey there. I just wanted to say hello and that this is actually the third time that I'm recording this today. For some reason, on my phone, no sound. On my camera, no sound. So now I'm using the computer. Now, what comes to mind is that I've got two times where I did exactly what I wanted to do, and there was no sound. So if there's no sound this time, okay. Anyway, this is Beverly Fells Jones, and I'm recording this today because one, I didn't want to type it all out. Two, you wouldn't be able to hear my voice and my inflection and my emotion because typed words, you have to pay attention because one person will understand it one way and another person will understand it another way because we all have our own filters, the way we were raised, the things we were taught. So, therefore, video is fantastic. What I want to talk about today is a post that I made on Facebook last week. It was called Feeling Vulnerable, or a vulnerable post, because I was feeling down. And it had to do with I'm in a competition, which I've already posted. I'm in a speaking competition. And what I saw was a number of people doing different things, but they're in different places in their careers. Some of them are many years in their careers, some are just starting, some are been around for a little while. And in one sense, I was feeling the effect of those who had been around for a while. And what I want to do is to recognize every last one of you who posted a comment. You really made me feel good. You put me in a place where I recognized my accomplishments, but also you worked hard to lift me up, to help lift up my feelings, to help me feel better about myself. Right? Help me with my ego, right? Because we all have egos. Well, here's what I want to share with you. One person, and that person is a good friend who lives in Canada, called me on the carpet. Yeah, that's what I said, called me on the carpet. Because she knew that there was something else that was underneath all of that. There was something else that caused that comparison, that feeling of less than. But it had nothing to do with feeling less than. It had nothing to do with the other person doing something at this level and I'm feeling down here. What it had to do with my own personal challenging personality. What it had to do with is my beating myself up for not doing what I said I was going to do. There's a book called The Slight Edge by, I think his first name is Jim, but his last name is Olstein. Anyway, it's called The Slight Edge. Anyway, the key is that when you do one additional thing in your life, over and above the things that everybody else does, it puts you a little higher. It puts you in the winner's circle, right? And the idea is this. Let's say you are learning to play the piano and you go for your piano lesson and three other people go for it to the same person for piano lessons, and all four of you started at the same time. Okay? Person number one went to the lesson, went home with the homework, and they practiced 15 minutes a day, if they thought about it. But 15 minutes was way too much when they went to practice. The other person practiced for 30 minutes a day. The third person practiced an hour a day. And let's say you practiced 4 hours a day. You were totally concentrated. Now, this is practicing to perfect what you have learned, what you learned in that lesson and any subsequent lessons. Everyone practicing what they learned and building on what they had. Each week, person number one does 15 minutes, maybe every other day, maybe every day, just depending on if they don't have anything to do. And the next person, and so on. We got the 30-minute, the hour, and then you. At the end of 6 weeks, who do you think will come to class, or not even 6 weeks, let's say the end of the semester, and it's time for recitals, right? How do you think that 15-minute, maybe if I want to do it, person is going to perform? Versus you, who have practiced 4 hours, right? Or maybe you were the person that practiced 30 minutes. Let's put you in the 30-minute one, right? Because that's where I am, in the 30-minute one. So I practiced for 30 minutes. And then we come to the recital and, oh, I feel much better because the person who practiced 15 minutes, they didn't do so well. And I feel good about me because I practice 30 minutes a day. And I go out and I practice, do my song, and I'm doing pretty good. And then I hear the person who practiced an hour a day, or the person who practiced 4 hours a day. And I don't feel so good because I didn't do so well. But is it the person that was practicing 4 hours a day? Should I be jealous of them? Should I be upset? Who am I upset with? I'm not upset with that person who did what they needed to do to be where they are today. I'm upset with me. No, I could have been practicing 4 hours a day. I chose to watch TV, maybe go out in the yard and play, or whatever, go to dinner with friends, right? No, 30 minutes a day. If I had been doing the 4 hours a day, I would have been somewhere near possibly where that other person was. I won't say that I was exactly the same because I'm different. I hope you understand what I'm saying here. As many times when we feel bad about ourselves, or we're actually comparing ourselves to someone else, yes, we need to understand our uniqueness, that we are unique in who we are and what we do. But we also have to own up to what do we do. Are we doing the things, that slight edge thing, that will give us and take us to where we want to go? So as I said, I honor every last one of you who took the time to say, Bev, you're in a good place. Bev, you do well. Bev, I look up to you. Bev, all of that is wonderful. And it made me feel good to think that I helped many people. But I thought maybe recording this would help even more. Because I'm going to tell you, as a coach, and the people who have me as their coach, I make them feel good. I tell them that they've done well, just like the music teacher says, you are doing well, you are progressing, but you can do more. Did you do X, Y, and Z last week as you agreed to? Did you do that slight edge more that you needed to do in order to move yourself forward? So I'm going to tell you that if you're a coach, I would fire you. I would fire me. In fact, I have fired a coach who said, "You did well. You're doing this and you're doing that." And you were, and inside I'm going, he's supposed to be saying to me, "Bev, did you do this, why, this, and this?" Because that's what I was expecting from him. We had agreed to it when I hired him. I told him, "Don't let me get away with anything. Don't allow me to give you excuses." And I want to thank my friend in Canada for not allowing me to have excuses. Make that person your client, your person, your spouse, your child, your best friend. Make them feel good. Uplift their spirits. But don't let them get away with anything. Because inside, now think about yourself. Inside, they're saying, "But I didn't do such and such." They're not, "Oh, I'm getting away with this," right? They're not realizing I didn't lift my weights last week. I didn't practice my piano last week. I didn't practice at the basketball court. I didn't practice my golf string. I didn't make those 5 sales calls I was supposed to make. I didn't da-da-da-da. You know what you didn't do. And that person you're talking to and you're crying to about, "You didn't do this, you weren't, maybe you were in a competition like I am in. And you didn't do the things you needed to do to move the dial forward." We all need someone to be the coach, to be the bigger person. As parents, those of you that are parents, you know that you wouldn't let your child get away with doodly squat, right? So don't allow that to come into your life, in the sense that if you love someone, if you truly care about someone, you want the best for that person, yes? You want the best for them. So I'm going to ask you to come out of your comfort zone. And if you're me, admit that you didn't do what you were supposed to do. If you're the person on the other side, the coach, the friend, the husband, the wife, the whomever, in a kind way, ask them, what's really going on? What's really happening? And what are you really upset about? And let them tell you, just as I'm telling you, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. One thing, if you're a salesperson, you make one additional phone call a day, or you knock on one additional door. If you're an athlete, you ask for help, guidance, and you practice just a little bit longer. If you're a musician, you practice your scales. If you're a singer, you practice your scales. You practice the song that you want to sing. If you're a speaker, you practice speaking. You practice that speech. You take the time to write the speech so that you can convey the information that you want the people who are listening to you to understand or to learn. I want to say that I honor you, I respect every one of you. And yes, we're all in the place that we should be. But guess what? We can be better. We can do more. We can ask for more. Some of you are running and working and doing things full throttle. And some of us, we're at 25% or 50% or 75%. But those of us that are not running full throttle, we need to understand that we will not get the results that we want, that we would like to see without that. This is Beverly Fells Jones, the Silver Fox of Consciousness, saying, I hope you have a wonderful week. And as you have believed, let it be done to you, and it is so.